So let me get this straight. We have the most controversial bats of all time, a PED suspension, Garrett Crochet getting one of the largest contracts a pitcher has ever received, a catcher cycle, and the fucking Padres are 5-0? Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva, and on today's episode, we recap the first batch of series of the year. It's great to be back, and I'm sure you guys are excited to get into the baseball action once again. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the Run the Play Network. The NBA playoffs start this month, and for the best predictions in the game, check out the boys on You Know Ball. Now, speaking of You Know Ball and host Anthony, we talk about how his beloved Braves got absolutely gobsmacked by the Padres this past weekend. The Padres swept them clean 4-0 in San Diego in Game 1. It was not pretty, but they got the job done. Padres won that 7-4. Michael King kind of made me look foolish for picking him to win to finish top 3 Cy Young this year. I still have a little faith, though. He only went 2 2/3 with 4 hits, 3 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Bad command, just erratic overall. Not a great start from him, but I still have faith. On the Braves side, Chris Sale went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Not perfect, but exactly what Chris Sale needed to start the year, especially having that injury flag start end to his year. Offensively for the Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr. Man, he had a great game. He was 3 for 4, scored 2 runs, and Manny Machado making me crow a little bit here for ranking him so low on our top 50 players series. He was 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. Offensively for the Braves, Matt Olson looks to be getting back on the right track. He walked 3 times and was 1 for 2. Ozzie Albies and Austin Riley each added a pair of home runs themselves. But overall, just not what you expected, especially after Michael King had a really bad start. Not great from the Braves overall. And in Game 2, it was closer, but they couldn't get over the hump. Padres won that one 4-3. Again, starter pitching for the Padres was not great. Dylan Cease only went 4 1/3 with 4 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He wasn't erratic like Michael King was, but he just could not put dudes away. That's not really typical from Dylan Cease. Something maybe to be concerned about. Don't put too much stock into the first start of the year, but it's something to keep an eye out for. Meanwhile, for the Braves, Reynaldo Lopez went 5 innings and gave up 9 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout in what might be the most Reynaldo Lopez start of all time. However, we are not going to be getting a lot of those going forward as he just hit the IL with shoulder inflammation. Timetable to return is uncertain at this time. Offensively for the Padres, Jackson Merrill, man, fantastic player. You could call him the rookie of the year if you want San Diego, but the way he played in this game, he might be better than Paul Skeens. He was 3 for 4 with a run scored, and Cronenworth and Tatis each added a solo home run to really put the Padres over the top. Offensively for the Braves, there wasn't really any standouts, but Austin Riley was 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. Solid game from him. Love to see him bounce back. I was kind of expecting this for him in the year. Game 3 was a pitcher's duel, and it started with Randy Vasquez of the Padres. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. He absolutely was shoving all night long, but matching him pitch for pitch with Spencer Schwellenbach, showing why he's kind of the dark horse in the NL Cy Young race this year. He went 6 innings, gave up a 1 hit, no earned, a walk, 4 strikeouts, but the Padres would prevail thanks to a Yuli Gurriel pinch hit single. Marcell Ozuna drew 3 walks for the Braves. And on Sunday Night Baseball, the Padres absolutely bullied the Braves. They won this one 5-0. And Nick Pivetta, he finally has hit the ceiling, it looks like, quite frankly, getting away from Boston and Philadelphia and really getting with a great Padres pitching development because, my God, he had the start of the year thus far. He went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, no earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. 4 strikeouts, not really Nick Pivetta-esque. You know him as the stuff plus king, but I'm taking that start 10 times out of 9, quite frankly. Phenomenal stuff from him. A.J. Smith-Shawver still has not excised the ghosts of Petco past because he only went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not the best stuff from him overall, but he did what he could. Offensively, I've said his name twice before. I'm going to have to say it again. God, I hate to, but Fernando Tatis Jr. had himself a series in this one. He was 2 for 4 with a walk, a double, 2 runs scored, and a run driven in. Fantastic series from him. Great start to his year thus far. Man, the one year I don't pick him to win MVP, he's playing like an MVP. And for the Braves, I just wrote shrug emoji because the Padres hitters had him confused like a 5-year-old taking a calculus test, quite frankly. It was that bad. And looking at the series overall, yeah, the big two for the Padres did not step up and deliver, but given their pedigree and the talent they have, I do not expect them to be as bad as they were in this start. And offensively for the Braves, yeah, this offense is not great. They are still running into that runners in scoring position problem, the swinging for the fences problem. And it's not just this Padres series. They did not look great in Los Angeles last night either, quite frankly. They're going to have to change something here or it's going to be another disappointing season for the Braves. Offensively for the Padres, they're getting contributions from guys up and down the lineup. I didn't really expect it from them, but Fernando's been great. Machado's been great. Cronenworth's been solid. And you're getting contributions from guys like Gavin Sheets and Yuli Gurriel. This Padres team, little sneaky, a little dangerous. Perhaps I over-exaggerated their death. Or perhaps I'm overreacting to one series. We're going to have to wait and see. Now, this second series is what I like to call a battle of the Tier 2 teams. Really seeing, okay, let's figure out who's mid and who's actually kind of good. I got the Reds-Giants series. Giants won this one 2-1, and in Game 1 was a dramatic opening day show, as you would want it to be given the fact that Cincinnati is the place to be on opening day. Giants won this 6-4. Reds' Hunter Green kind of showed that Cy Young pedigree from last year. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. You know about Hunter Green. He's so damn good. I love this start from him overall. Giants' Logan Webb kind of matched him blow for blow. He also went 5 innings, but he gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Really not the best stuff from Logan Webb overall, but he really did what he had to do to keep the Giants in this one. Offensively for the Reds, Heimer Candelario, he was 2 for 3 with a walk, drove in 3. Great start from him, really providing another bat in this lineup and veteran leadership. Love it from him overall. TJ Friedl really set the table as well. He was 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI hitting leadoff. But the Giants, offensively, they're starting to look a little better here. Jung-Ho Lee, I'm only highlighting him because he was supposed to be the magical piece that fixed this lineup. Well, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored. He really did what he could when he got on base. Solid start to his season overall. But the big story, of course, is Wilmer Flores' go-ahead home run in the 9th inning. I will note that Alexis Diaz was not pitching in the 9th, and just something to keep an eye on, given how much Diaz struggled last year. I still think he has that all-star pedigree in him, but he has not earned the trust of Francona just yet. Keep an eye out on that on the season. In Game 2, Reds won this one 3-2 behind a fantastic start from Nick Lodolo. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, no walks, and a strikeout. Not necessarily the swing and miss stuff, but really missed barrels and kept the ball in the infield and away from the gaps. Great start from him. Justin Verlander, say it with me, like a fine wine, he only gets better with age. He went 5 strong. He gave up 6 hits, 2 earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Verlander, man, he's just so damn good. He's consistent. Not really pitching deep like he did in Houston, not really missing as many bats as he did in Houston. But if you're getting this out of Verlander, given how good that Giants pen could be, I think that's exactly what you need from him. Meanwhile, for the Reds, Matt McClain, he was 2 for 4 with a double and a solo home run in this one. And Christian Encarnacion Strand was also 2 for 4 with a solo home run. Great stuff from 2 players who really were supposed to be the cornerstones along with De La Cruz of this young Reds core. It's still very early. I'm not writing them off just yet, but encouraging signs for the future of this Reds team. Elio Ramos was 1 for 4 with a double, really continuing that feel-good story from last year. And Wilmer Flores added another solo home run, bringing his total up to 2 in 2 games. And in the rubber match, Nick Martinez was not perfect, but he did all that he could. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Great start from him overall, but just could not finish it cleanly. Meanwhile, Robbie Ray, in one of his first starts with the Giants. He went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Really, you are not expecting Robbie Ray to get back to Cy Young form, but to see this out of him, very encouraging again because the reason I picked this Giants team to make the playoffs is the rotation looks very promising with a lot of high upside. If Robbie Ray can pitch a little bit deeper, start missing a bit more barrels like he has been known to do in the past, he can be a fantastic three-starter. Encouraging signs from him. Meanwhile, offensively for the Reds, Austin Wynns, of all people, had himself a good game. He was 1 for 2 with a walk, a home run, 2 driven in, and Matt McClain also added a solo home run as well. But for the Giants, Jung-Hoo Lee, he finally had himself a good game this season. He was 2 for 4 with a walk and 2 RBIs. And Elio Ramos, again, continues that feel-good story. 2 for 4 with a 2-run home run. Overall, the Reds have a lot of things to figure out bullpen-wise, offensively. Without the Torpedo bat, Ellie De La Cruz was bad, but with the Torpedo bat, man, he's phenomenal. But I'm not talking about that series. They are getting a lot of contributions from players they needed to step up, like Friedel, McClain, and Encarnacion Strand, so that is great to see out of them. Meanwhile, for the Giants, Elio Ramos really needed to be one of those bats that has to step up. He's done so in a big way. You're seeing Jung-Hoo Lee get on base, which is fantastic given that Adames and Chapman are really the two big bats expected to carry this Giants lineup. With good starting pitching, not a quality start from any of the starters, but they each went 5, gave up less than 3. That's exactly what this team needs. And we're going to see what these last 2 arms in their rotation do, because I think this Giants team could be a little bit scary. And they kind of proved it here in this series against the Reds. And in the last one, we have what I think is an ALCS preview here between the Red Sox and the Rangers. And the Rangers look like they have had some Pedialyte, some Liquid IV, because that World Series hangover is gone. They won this series 4-1, but they did not take the opener. The Red Sox won that 5-2. Rangers' Nathan Eovaldi, in his opening day start, he went 6 innings with 3 hits, 2 earned, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. Great start from him overall. Garrett Crochet, in the start of what looks like, hopefully, is a Cy Young campaign from him. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not the best command from him overall, but he did what he could to get through a very tough Rangers lineup. He looked good in his start. Josh Jung for the Rangers, he was the only offensive standout in my opinion in this game. He went 2 for 4. And this game will be known as the Wilyer Abreu opening day game, quite frankly. He was 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, one of them being the go-ahead home run. He scored 3 runs, drove in 4. Just a baller-ass game from Abreu. Wasn't really high on him his rookie year, but he looked very good in this series. We'll get to that later. In Game 2, Jack Leiter has shown that top prospect bill because he had a fantastic start. Led the Rangers to a 4-1 win as he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, a walk, 4 strikeouts. I don't think he's going to hit that potential he had and was flashed so much in that draft process, but if he does this, starts to add a little bit more length, as I'm going to keep saying here, but he was great overall. Tanner Houck, disappointing given what he was last year. He only went 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Not the best start from him, and he's supposed to be one of the keystones of a very underrated-looking Red Sox rotation. Jonah Heim for the Rangers, he might be back a little bit. He was 2 for 3 with a pair of solo home runs. And offensively for the Red Sox, Jarren Duran, 2 for 4 and a stolen base, exactly what you need from him at the top of that lineup. And Christian Campbell, showing a little bit of that top prospect flash, 2 for 4 in this one, but again, we'll get to him in a little bit later on. Rangers won a squeaker 4-3 in Game 3 behind what looks like a bullpen game-esque start, quite frankly, from Tyler Mahle. He didn't have it. He only went an inning and 2/3, gave up 2 hits, and earned 1, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Very erratic start from him. No control whatsoever. Really needed the bullpen to step up, which they did and carried this team. Oh, and this one hurts me to see. My beloved Walker Buehler. He was not great. He only went 4 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 4 earned, 3 strikeouts. Again, I kind of saw this coming, is you do not put too much stock into postseason Walker Buehler. He's just a different animal in the postseason. And if this is the Walker Buehler the Red Sox are getting, again, not putting too much stock into one regular season start, it's just I saw a lot of him last year. And let's just say there was a reason why I thought the Dodgers had only 2 starting pitchers going into that playoff run, because he was just not great and showed it again, unfortunately, here. And say it with me, because I've been saying this a lot about this Rangers team, but it's true. They were not great last year, but they're coming back a little bit, because Adolis Garcia, man, have yourself a game. He was 3 for 3 with a double, a home run, 3 runs driven in. Man, he is fantastic. That big head of his really came through. And Corey Seager, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Quintessential Corey Seager game almost. And for the Red Sox, now we'll talk about him. Christian Campbell had himself a very great series. This game kind of proves it here. He was 2 for 3, a walk, a solo home run. Really, the reason why I am very high on this Red Sox team is the young core, and Christian Campbell really has validated that, quite frankly. Again, not to overreact to one series here, but he just was great. Love what I saw from him in this series. And in the finale, the Rangers again won a squeaker 3-2. Jacob deGrom looks like Jacob DeGoat again, quite frankly. He went 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Again, it's a big health thing from him, but man, when he's on, he's unhittable, and you really saw it here in this start. Great from him overall. Richard Fitz gave the Red Sox their best start of the series. Interesting to say that going in this series. But he went 6 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Great for him overall. Really just trying to hold down the fort till Giolito gets back. But if he's pitching like this, I wouldn't mind him having a rotation spot. Offensively for the Rangers, Wyatt Langford is starting to hit that ceiling a little bit here. He was 2 for 4 with a home run. And Adolis Garcia also added a solo home run as well. And Wilyer Abreu, I think the Rangers were sick of his bullshit, because they walked him 3 times, and the one time he had a pitch to hit, he doubled, stole a base. Great series from Abreu. But overall, this Rangers team, they look back almost. Jacob deGrom looks so good. Jack Leiter is hitting that ceiling. And Nathan Eovaldi, he may not be the ace of the staff, but he pitched like the ace of the staff on opening day. Kyler Molly was a little bit of concern, but again, the bullpen stepped up in a big way for him. Offense looks so good. I talked about a lot of the names that were supposed to contribute, with the exception of Marcus Semien. But Langford contributed, Seager contributed, Garcia contributed, Heim and Young contributed. And you still have more on the way. I think this is going to be a fantastic year for the Rangers. Meanwhile, for the Red Sox, I was high on the pitching, but I think I was high talking about their pitching, quite frankly. If Richard Fitz gives you the best start of the season, a little bit of a cause for concern. I'm not overreacting to this, but it's just something interesting to note, especially how much I look at Houck and Crochet to be the really good 1-2 to lead them. They were not bad by any means, but they weren't great either. And again, Walker Buehler, it hurts me to say, just was not great as a Red Sox. Now, before we get into the news, i.e., what is my opinion on the Torpedo bat, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video.
Now, yes, it's the bat heard round the world. It's the Torpedo bat. So much has been made of it. It's quite frankly an exhausting discourse. And for those of you who don't know what the Torpedo bat is, the Yankees worked with an MIT physicist to create a bat optimized for each hitter, because they noticed that Anthony Volpe was wearing out a different part of his bat than hitters like Judge, Stanton, and Rizzo when they were developing this. So they kind of moved the wood to where he hits the ball. And all of a sudden, they're barreling it up more, and everyone's crying foul, saying they have an unfair advantage, yada, yada, yada. I get that. And yes, I understand the bat is not technically illegal. But, and I'm going to get a little nerdy here for a second here, but I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Olympics and their rules for running. Yeah, that nerdy. But he had a famous shoe called the Nike Vaporfly with so much cushion that it gave the runners an extra push when they were going up, so they had a little bit more spring when they were hitting the ground each time. And in the year before the Tokyo Olympics, they took 16 of the 19 podium spots at major marathons in 2019. Yeah, those shoes were so damn good. Even athletes who could not wear Nike Vaporflies were doing all that they could to wear that fucking shoe, man. And yes, the shoe wasn't illegal at the time, but it's going to be illegal, much like this Torpedo bat. I understand that your dumbest friend came up with the idea of, why don't we just move the wood? And I understand it's not illegal. But it kind of provides somewhat of an unfair advantage to people who do not have the bat or cannot access the bat. And I don't blame the Torpedo bat for what the Yankees did to the Brewers. They threw so many middle fastballs. They served up more meatballs than an Italian restaurant. They could have made me look like a competent hitter, quite frankly. They were that bad in the Yankees series. And again, it could be a juiced ball year too. I've seen some fluky-ass home runs this season. We don't know yet. But the fact that this bat's taken up so much of our discussion, so much of everything, I think it's going to be made illegal sooner rather than later. It's really cool. Enjoy it while it's here. But the Torpedo bat is not going to last that long. Now for the other news I touched on in the cold open here. Yep. We all looked at it like, Jerickson Profar didn't improve his swing decisions. Didn't really change anything about his plate approach or any of that. What's going on with Jerickson Profar? Why did he have a career year last year? We're stupid. It was steroids. It was always steroids. He tested positive for HGC. He's now been suspended 80 games. He is now ineligible for the postseason, loses $5.8 million in salary, and he gave the usual, I respect the game, I'm very disappointed, I'm sorry to my teammates, the fans of the Braves organization, yada, yada, yada. I get it, but dude, come on. People are testing nowadays. There's so much data. And yeah, you didn't get caught last year, but you got caught this year. And really, it's sad because as much as I do not like Jerickson Profar, I respect the story of a former top prospect really grinding and working hard and then finally hitting that potential. It's so cool to see. That's why I kept saying with Elio Ramos, oh my God, the feel-good story of last year, because he really was a very good feel-good story for the San Francisco Giants and baseball as a whole. And then Profar just kind of took the goodwill he had from his story and threw it all away because of drugs. I'm not going to do the Dodger fan thing of, well, he was working out with Tatis that offseason. Tatis gave him the steroids. I'm not going to speculate here. I'm just disappointed in him. The Braves are disappointed in him because, once again, they're going to have to rebuild their outfield without Acuna. They, of course, got Stuart Fairchild and Alex Verdugo to fill the void in the meantime. Just really a shitty situation. Very disappointed in Jerickson Profar. But something you will not be disappointed in is our series to watch this week. And I may not look at it if you watch the off-season content, but I really try not to be a homer here. But damn, I have to be a homer here. It's Dodgers, Phillies. This series is going to be loaded with star power. Bare minimum, you're going to be seeing Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Blake Snell, and Sasaki most likely for the Dodgers. You might see Aaron Nola. I don't think Zach Wheeler will pitch, but if he does, he will probably go on Sunday for the Phillies. A lot of great pitching matchups in this series. And of course, you know about the superstars. You know about your Bryce Harpers, your Shohei Ohtanis, your Betts, your Freeman, Nick Castellanos, Trey Turner. But I'm going to give you two players to watch here that kind of have had fantastic starts to the year. NLCS MVP, Korean legend, Tommy Barrels himself. Tommy Edman has had 3 home runs thus far in the year. Great start from him overall. Keep an eye out for him because he is a little bit of a sneaky hitter given how how loaded this Dodgers lineup is. He kind of gets lost in the fray. He's trying to make that not the case here. And Kyle Schwarber, there's a reason I didn't mention him in the stars section because I wanted to highlight him here specifically. He also has 3 home runs with a 1,300 OPS at the top of this Phillies lineup. He is a fantastic hitter. The Phillies really kind of gave the Dodgers their lunch meat at Citizens Bank Park last year. They were, if I remember correctly, 14-2 against the NL West as a whole in that ballpark. It's going to be a fantastic series to watch. Maybe a potential NLCS preview. Who knows? But it's a lot of great baseball. And you guys should definitely check that out if you're only watching one series this year. But let me know in the comments down below. What series are you looking forward to? Was I too much of a disappointed dad talking about Jerickson Profar? And what is your opinion of the Torpedo bats? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the Run the Play Network, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.